You can't enjoy wealth if you are not in good health. Health is a state of complete harmony of the body, mind, and spirit. I'm your biology teacher, welcoming you all to today's class. In previous class in biology, we started Unit 21, Nutrition and Health, and we have discussed the different types of nutrients such as carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins, minerals, and also we have completed the deficiency disorders and symptoms of protein and vitamins, which is very essential for our good health. Today, we will gain knowledge about different methods of food preservation, how to identify the adulterants in food, and also the role of different food quality certifying agents of our country in detail. Food. Food is the basic necessity of our life. During this lockdown situation, the importance of food preservation is most important. First, we see what is food preservation. Food preservation is the process of prevention of food from decay or spoilage by storing in a condition fit for future use. So, what is the need for food preservation? Food is preserved to increase the shelf life of food. It helps to retain the color, texture, flavor, and nutritive value. It increases the food supply and decreases wastage of food. So, what are the various methods of food preservation? The various methods of food preservation are drying, smoking, irradiation, cold storage, freezing, pasteurization, canning. We will see one by one. What is drying? Drying is the process of preservation of food by removal of water or moisture content in the food. It can be done either by sun drying or by vacuum drying. Sun drying means cereals, fish, etc. And vacuum drying examples milk powder, cheese powder, etc. And we can also use hot air drying. Hot air drying, for example, you can take grapes, dry fruits, potato flakes, potato chips, okay, and all. So, drying inhibits the growth of microorganisms such as bacteria, yeast, and molds. Molds is nothing but fungi. Next is smoking. So, in this process, the food products like meat and fish are exposed to smoke. You can see in this picture. The drying action of the smoke tends to preserve the food. Next one is the irradiation. Food irradiation is the process of exposing the food to optimum levels of ionizing radiations like X-rays, gamma rays, or ultraviolet rays to kill harmful bacteria and pests and to preserve its freshness. So, irradiation means using the radiations to preserve the food. Next is the cold storage. So, it is a process of storing the perishable foods such as vegetables, fruits, and fruit products, milk and milk products, etc. at low temperature. Preserving the food products at low temperature slows down the biological and chemical reactions and prevents its spoilage. Cold storage is nothing but in our home itself you can able to see cold storage. So we will keep all the fruits and vegetables in the fridge. Okay, so that is called cold storage. So you can get the milk packet and keep it in the fridge. Vegetables, fruits, milk products and all. So our day-to-day life products are kept in cold storage in our fridge. Next is freezing. Freezing is one of the widely used methods of food preservation. This process involves storing the food below 0 degrees centigrade at which the microorganisms cannot grow. So below 0 degrees centigrade, that means total complete freezing, in that the microorganisms can't able to grow. Chemical reactions are reduced and metabolic reactions are also delayed. For example, in our home itself, in fridge, so at the top of the fridge there is another box, freezer. So we will keep some eating materials inside that fridge for deep freezing. Okay, so it allows, that means it allows the food to freeze. Next is the pasteurization. Pasteurization is a process of heat treatment of liquid food products. For example, preservation of milk and beverages. So pasteurization was first discovered by Louis Pasteur. So Louis Pasteur, he processed the heat treatment of liquid food products such as milk. This process also involves boiling of milk to a temperature of 63 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes and suddenly cooling to destroy the microbes present in the milk. For example, if you get the milk packet in the morning, if you keep it as such outside, it will get spoiled. So you have to boil the milk. So now you have to boil for about 30 minutes. Then the milk will be fresh, or it will not spoil even till night. Next is canning. In this method of food preservation, most vegetables, fruits, meat and dairy products, milk products, fruit juices and some ready to eat food are processed and stored in a clean, steam, airtight containers under pressure and then sealed. Canning. டப்பால் அடைச்ச vegetables or fruits, meats, etc. So it is then subjected to high temperature and cooled to destroy all microbes. This canning method is used in very big countries such as USA, other foreign countries. They are using this canning method. We are also exporting some meat, prawns, fishes, okay, in this process called canning. So it can be processed and stored in a cleaned airtight containers under pressure and then sealed. Okay, so these are the different methods of food preservation. So let me repeat. So what are the various methods? First one is drying. There are different types: sun drying, vacuum drying and hot air drying. Next one is smoking. Smoking means action of smoke in meat and fish. Next one is irradiation, passing X-rays, gamma rays, ultraviolet rays to kill harmful bacteria. Cold storage, preserving the food products at low temperature. Freezing, it involves storing the food below 0 degrees centigrade. Pasteurization means the process of boiling the milk about 30 minutes. Last one is the canning. Canning means here the food products are processed and stored in a airtight containers and then sealed. Next we move on to addition of preservatives. So food can be preserved with help of these preservatives, and there are two types of preservatives: natural and synthetic preservatives. First we see what is natural preservatives. Some naturally available materials like salt, sugar and oil are used as food preservatives. First we see addition of salt. It is one of the oldest method of preserving food. Addition of salt removes the moisture content, that means the water content in the food, by the process of osmosis. So you know well about osmosis. Osmosis is nothing but movement of water from the region of high concentration to the region of lower concentration. So the water is removed with help of osmosis. This prevents the growth of bacteria and reduces the activity of microbial enzymes. Example for this is meat, fish, gooseberry, lemon and raw mangoes or preserved by salting. Salt is also used as a preservative in pickles, urkai, canned foods, etc. So, if you add salt, and this will reduce or prevents the growth of bacteria. Okay, next is addition of sugar. Sugar or honey is added as a preservative to increase the shelf life of fruits and food products like jams, jellies, squash, etc. The hygroscopic nature of this honey or sugar helps in reducing the water content of food and also minimizing the process of oxidation in fruits. So these jams, jellies, by adding the sugar with the fruits, we can prepare these jams, jellies and squash. So this can be kept for long time without any decay. Next is addition of oil. Addition of oil in pickles prevents the contact of air with food. Hence, microorganisms cannot grow and spoil the food. You can able to see in a bottle containing pickle, the upper part contains oil. So, this oil prevents the contact of air with food. So, the pickle can be used for a long time without any spoilage. Next is the synthetic preservatives. Synthetic is nothing but artificial preservatives. The synthetic preservatives like sodium benzoate, citric acid, vinegar, sodium metabisulfate and potassium bisulfate are added to the food products like sauces, jams, jellies, packed foods and ready-to-eat foods. These preservatives delay the microbial growth and keep the food safe for long duration. So the World Food Day is on October 16th. It emphasizes on food safety and avoiding food wastage. So these are the two types of preservatives, natural preservative and synthetic preservatives. Synthetic preservatives are bad to our health since it contains so many chemicals and packed foods. So it's not good for our health, but we can able to store the food for long duration. Next, we move on to food adulteration. So what is meant by adulteration? Kalappadam. Adulteration is defined as addition or subtraction of any substance to or from food so that the natural composition and the quality of food substance is affected. If you add or if you subtract anything in a substance or in a food, so the composition and the quality of the food will change. So that is called as adulteration. So the substance which causes adulteration is called as adulterant. Any material which is used for the purpose of adulteration is called adulterant. Some of the common adulterated foods are milk and milk products, cereals, pulses, coffee powder, tea powder, turmeric powder, saffron, kungumapu, confectionery, non-alcoholic beverages, spices, edible oils, meat, poultry products, etc. These adulterants are classified into three categories. One is the natural adulterant. Second one is incidental or unintentionally added adulterant. That means தெரியாம add பண்றது. Unintentionally added. Third one is intentionally added. தெரிஞ்சே add பண்றது. First we see natural adulterant. Natural adulterants are those chemicals or organic compounds that are naturally present in food. Example, toxic substance in certain poisonous mushrooms. So we can eat mushrooms. So we can't able to eat all the types of mushrooms. Some mushrooms are poisonous. So they contain toxic substances. And then the prussic acid, that means it contains hydrogen cyanide in the seeds of apples and cherries. So we will eat apple, but we can't eat that seed of the apple or a cherry. So this apple and cherry seeds contain hydrogen cyanide, which is poisonous. Marine toxins, fish oil poisoning, and environmental contaminants. Second one is the incidental or unintentionally added adulterants. These types of adulterants are added unknowingly due to ignorance or carelessness during food handling and packaging. It includes different types: pesticide residues, droppings of rodents, insects, rodent bites and larvae in the food during its storage. You can see in this picture. And then microbial contamination due to the presence of pathogens like E. coli, salmonella in fruits, vegetables, ready to eat, meat and poultry products. So microbial contamination also causes it is an unintentionally added adulterant. Next is the intentionally added adulterants. These adulterants are added intentionally for financial gains, சொந்த லாபத்துக்காக, and have serious impact on the health of the consumers. These types of adulterant includes additives and preservatives. So they can use some additives or preservatives like vinegar. So in pickles they can use vinegar, citric acid, sodium bicarbonate, that is nothing but baking soda, hydrogen peroxide in milk, modified food starch, food flavors, synthetic preservatives and artificial sweeteners. These are some of the preservatives used intentionally. Next is the chemicals like calcium carbide to ripen the bananas and mangoes. So for ripening the banana and mangoes, they are using one chemical. You can see in this picture, calcium carbide to ripen that bananas. And non-certified food colors containing chemicals like metallic lead are used to give colors to vegetables like green leafy vegetables, bitter gourd, green peas, etc. Patani packet. Okay, we can get green peas from the stores. So it's when you put this peas in water, the water will change green. So green peas. So these colors are added to give fresh look to the vegetables. Next is the edible synthetic wax. So wax coated apples, you can able to see in this picture. So edible synthetic wax like shellac or carbonu wax is coated on fruits like apple, pear to give a shining appearance. So these are intentionally added adulterant which will destroy the health of the consumer. So what are the health effects of these adulterated foods? So consumption of these adulterated foods may lead to serious health effects like fever, diarrhea, nausea, talasuttal, vomiting, gastrointestinal disorders, stomach pain or diarrhea, dysentery, okay, gastrointestinal disorders, asthma, allergy, neurological disorder, skin allergies, immune suppression. Sometimes it will suppress our immune system. Kidney and liver failure, colon failure or colon cancer. You can see in this picture, large intestine, a part of large intestine is the colon. So colon cancer and even birth defects. So these are the health effects of the adulterated food. Food is more important in our life, and we have seen how the food gets adulterated. So what are the steps taken by the government to ensure the food quality control? Government always ensures that pure and safe food is made available to the consumers. In 1954, the Indian government enacted the food law known as Prevention of Food Adulteration Act and Prevention of Food Adulteration Rules in 1955 with the objective of ensuring pure and wholesome food to the consumers. Minimum standard of quality for food and strict hygienic condition for its sale are clearly outlined in the Act. World Health Day was raised on 7th April 2015 to promote and improve food safety. There are various different agencies helps in controlling the food quality. ISI, AGMARK, FPO and FCI and other health departments enforce minimum standards for consumer products. What is FCI? Food Corporation of India. Food Corporation of India was set up in the year 1965 with the following objectives. The main objective of FCI is to safeguard the farmers. It helps in distributing the food grains throughout the country. It helps in maintaining satisfactory levels of operational and buffer stock of food grains to ensure national security. It regulates the market price to provide food grains to consumers at reliable prices. So, what are the standard marks and the role in food safety of these various food control agencies? We will see one by one. First one is ISI, Indian Standard Institution, known as Bureau of Indian Standard BIS. This ISI certifies industrial products like electrical appliances like switches, wiring cables, water heater, electric motor, kitchen appliances, etc. For example, you can see in water heater and in kitchen appliances such as mixie, grinder, you can able to see this ISI symbol. Next one is AGMARK, Agricultural Marking. It certifies agricultural and livestock products like cereals, essential oils, pulses, honey, butter, etc. Next is FPO, Fruit Process Order. FPO means Fruit Process Order. This helps in certifies the fruit products like juice, jams, sauce, canned fruits and vegetables, pickles, etc. The last is the FSSAI, Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. It helps in responsible for protecting and promoting the public health through regulation and supervision of food safety. Okay, next we move on with one activity. I will give some simple techniques which is used to detect the adulterants at home. For example, first you all have sugar in your home. So dissolve sugar in water. If chalk powder is added as an adulterant, it will settle down. The chalk powder does not dissolve in water, so it settled down. First one. Second one is the coffee powder. Sprinkle a few pinches of coffee powder in a glass of water. Coffee powder floats. If the coffee powder is pure, it floats. If it is adulterated with tamarind powder, it settles down. Or if you have honey, dip a cotton in honey and light it with a matchstick. Pure honey burns, while the adulterated honey with sugar solution gives a cracking sound. Students, I hope you all can understand the concept dealt in our class today. That means food preservation, addition of preservatives, food adulteration, harmful effects of adulterated food, and different agencies of food quality control. The book link is sent to you. So please go through all the textbook exercises, revise and study. Thank you.